own that weapon.
Unseek!
Looks like the Beatles.
Not bad enough for going into the most darkest room. We're also walking face first into a beat. Love
Unseek!
Try growing up with that volcano on the horizon. You learn early on how fragile life can be. Envoy, last time I was here, I was fully convinced I'd never be back. I left Solace under the cover of darkness, through an exit only me and a friend of mine knew about. More importantly, I left without permission, which means I more or less exiled myself. I did. Might come a time when I'm ready to talk about it. You'll see when we get there. Solace isn't the most welcoming place, even to those who live there. Anyway. If I must.
We really must stop meeting like this. People will talk. Oh, just wonderful. My home was attacked on the order of a woman without a heart or any other major organs. Then everything that happened in Shatterscarp and Ringrim's offer. I've been so lucky. My life right now is, well, it's wonderful. But there's always been something missing. And it gives me this kind of jittery feeling that makes my fur stand on end. Does that make sense? A little. We've spoken a bit about my, shall we say, restlessness. But I've not had a chance to tell him about Ringrim's offer yet. Quilici will be supportive, of course. He's wonderful like that. It's just hard to ignore these thoughts with everything happening. Not that I didn't have options before, of course, but now they're louder. A fair point, my dear. I suppose I needed a moment to rant. Thank you, Envoy. I appreciate you lending an ear. I'll leave you to your vices for now.
Oh, gods. Anyone else finding it hard to breathe?
Oh, dear. Focus on something else, dear. Like how terrible the tusks smell.
We're here. Stay with us, Marius. The feeling will pass.
Right. I'm alright. It's like I'm being chased by something I can't see.
We're here, Marius. You're safe. The only thing chasing you is yourself.
Ah, gods. I'm the last person I'd want to be chased by.
We're on the precipice of something magical. You can feel it, can't you? The garden is within our grasp. All we need now is the courage and wisdom to brave the unknown. That shouldn't be a problem. I've done a lot of learning in our time together. Are you afraid of what's to come? I'm not judging, just curious. Fear is not weakness. Fear is strength biding its time. I believe, for the first time in ages, that I am not afraid. I used to care so much about discovery, invention, achievement. But deep down, I was afraid. Afraid that I wasn't living up to my potential. You've been paying attention. Since we met, everything I believed has been proven wrong. That the island can be controlled. That I alone can fix it. Even my parents. Gods. They really had no idea what they were doing. Just like me. And look how that turned out. I'm so tired of being afraid. I need to accept my limitations or embrace them. Even if I'm wrong again, that's part of the journey. I have no idea where it leads. And for the first time, it's fine. Perfectly fine. You're right, I don't need permission. But that doesn't mean it's unwelcome. Glad I could get that off my chest. We have bigger problems to worry about, but I appreciate these little moments. You have an inquisitive mind. I respect that. If you ever feel your education is missing something, I'd be happy to teach you what I know. All you have to do is ask. Excellent. The Imperial Court taught you well, but I suspect there were gaps in what they call an education. If there's anything you've been dying to learn from an Animancer, now is the time. Very well. Hold your questions to the end if you don't mind. Otherwise, I'll lose my train of thought. Now, let's begin. You, drifted off for a moment. Were you paying attention? Really? What's the last thing I said? Oh, I stand corrected. Even if you had dozed off, no harm done. Besides, a little nap is good for the soul. I slept through my share of lectures, and look how I turned out. That's all I have to teach you for now. I'll chime in if anything else comes to mind. Oh, yes. The little butterflies in my stomach are more restless than ever. When I joined you, I needed to put a stop to the dream scourge. So much has changed since then. There may be nothing for me in the garden. Nothing I haven't learned outside of it. But I still want to see it for myself. Something tells me the garden would defy any attempt to measure it. One cannot catalog the impossible. On a journey such as this, it's better to cast aside your expectations. They can only weigh you down. Thanks for talking.
Mother's tongue is the best treatment for snaggage, if you ask me.
I didn't ask, but I'm glad you know so much about what to do with your mother's tongue.
Oh dear, someone must have asked. And snaggage is perfectly natural, I'm sure, and nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, you may laugh, but you wait until you're overcome with snaggage and you're in dire need of mother's tongue.
Darling, trust me. I can handle any mother's tongue if needed.
Right. Well, I do carry it in my pack, but sure, get snaggage. See if I care.
I think there's been some confusion. Everyone is aware that mother's tongue is an herb, yes?
Of course, dearie. Marius is just too much fun to tease.
Besides, who names a plant something like that? Drouatians love to boast about how barren and rugged our homeland is. But we've got nothing on the Pargrunan living here. I can't fault your optimism, but Would you think that if this was the only landscape you ever saw, day in and day out? According to Marius, his people are forbidden from ever leaving the tusks.
I did tell you that, didn't I? Must have been drunk.
I'm all for pulling together, but that's just oppressive.
You're not alone. A lot of people in Solace would agree with you.
Exactly. It's not a home if you have to lock people in it. Ravatai has a similar problem. Between the constant storms and the rocky soil, the land's never supported us easily. So many of us find work as sailors and mercenaries. We explore the world as soldiers or as part of a trade mission. We venture out. We're encouraged to. Yeah, strength through striving. Everyone in the Living Lands faces struggle, but people choose that, and usually to escape something worse. Forcing people into a lifetime of hardship for the sake of principle or tradition is a different matter entirely. I'll be here if you need me.
You seem quiet, darling.
I'm still thinking about Thirdborn and what we did to them.
I know it's a heavy price to pay, but look at what we bought. The Dream Scourge is no more in Shatterscarp. And Naguku Bell stands, ready to be studied the moment we deal with this new god and the Steel Garrote.
After all that, you're still thinking about your studies.
And aside from it being the right thing to do, I find it very easy to disagree with Ludwig.
I don't have to like her to think she was right about this.
I suppose I can understand. I just wish you could find me more agreeable than the woman who attacked Fiora.
I do, Yatsley. I just wish this didn't make us the people who attacked Thirdborn.
Schemes in the dark. The mountains shift in unknowable shapes. A question for a question. The leaf twines around itself. We admire much. We have much still to fear. Beast of treachery smells you. It stalks you across the land. A sword for a settlement, the scorpion promises to protect. Rose today, thorn tomorrow. Friend or foe, the branches shake. Another time, a distant ache. A hidden strike, a bond bleeds in silence. Have your hands known this? An oak everlasting. Why? A certain spring. The bloom always succeeds the frost. The storm blows, others falter. What good is a vow if it can break? Trust. We have learned much. Dream of dandelions with two heads.
Radut, be reasonable. We can't live out here like this.
Listen, we're besieged by Mali and her outsiders. Ray still begs me to search for the missing Aedyr merchant convoy, but we're stretched too thin even for that. I only ask you to hold on a bit longer until my replacement comes.
I will try. But this can't last.
Another Aedyran. Damned if I ever saw the like. So you're the envoy they reported at the gate. Pete's turning away the refugees from Shatterscarp, at least. Is it true that many drop dead suddenly? A beautiful display. I can't say I understand, but... never mind. I'll look past that. The sentries were right about you. You have the same features as Arnandru. Taller, of course, but nevertheless. Wait, is that you, Marius?
Gods, here we go.
What happened to your accent? Did you lose it?
I did. So Nimdudes like you would ask dumb questions.
Well, good to see you alive, regardless. You know what? I'm going to treat this as a good omen. Nandru himself knows we need one out here. Anyway, the Tusks never offered us much, and that was before the Beetles rose in their numbers. Never mind the Zorips, or the Dream Scourge, or fucking Amalia. I don't know what there is to do. The Beetles and Zorips come back faster than we can cut them down, and Amalia... gods, where do I even start? She and I used to command this tower in turn. I and my wardens kept watch while she and hers rested in the keep. And so too the reverse. Until her last watch, that is. When she and her wardens abandoned their post and marched on the gate and tried to leave. Because life in the tower is torture. We're low on supplies. The Wastes are winning against us. They had made a request to the keep for aid. After it was denied, her warden spoke of mutiny. And after that, well, fighting broke out at the gate. My wardens and I rushed from our leave when we heard the alarms. Drove Amalia back. Now she set up camps in the Wastes. Main one is just up north in the Twined Wood. Another just west of there, in a tower. Another east, in a cave. She's broken her oath, and I'm trying to find a way to uphold mine. To watch over the garden. It is this that keeps us bound to the Tusks. Our oaths are mortal matters.
Traditionally, if a warden's oath is unfulfilled, their spirit lingers until another warden sees it completed. Or so they say.
So it is. And if one of our own breaks an oath, well, I'd be breaking another oath if I speak much more to Marius. But you get the idea. All I want is peace with her. But our talks, such as they were, have totally broken down. Whenever I approach, she just tells me to stay away from the land beneath her banners. And after her raid, after our skirmishes, I don't see how we can talk anymore. But would you be willing to talk to her? You are an envoy, after all. I'm sure you've defused more complicated situations. I have no demands except that she stops attacking us for treading near her camps. But she says she won't stop until they can all leave. And I can't grant her passage out of the Tusks. She has no duty out there. Nor can I grant her one. I don't know how to break the stalemate. But I'll quit talking your ear off. Thank you for indulging me. If you see Amalia or any of her camps, I hope you can get through to them.
I might have something for you, envoy.
Who goes there? Wait. Marius. If the dead don't walk. I lost that bet then. So you did find a way out.
Amalia, always a pleasure. Yeah, I found a way out, but here I am, right back here again.
You don't know how much that twists the knife. Here you are, back after your escape, while we're literally dying to get out. And you've brought an Aedyr friend. Who are you? Radut. First he refuses to let us leave the tusks, and now he sends you. I won't talk. Not with you. I don't trust your lot, Aedyr. Don't think I'm not wise to you and yours. Go fuck yourself, that's what I'm talking about. I'll tell you the same thing I told Radut. These banners mark the dead dirt we claim as our own. And as long as these banners fly, as long as we hold our own, I have nothing to say to you. You'll learn what it is to suffer. Now get out of here before it gets ugly.
We could probably sneak through here and just grab the banner. Quiet, Nimdut.
Another hunt, another meal for all of us. I wonder if it'll taste any better this time.
Keep quiet. can sneak up this way. Was that too loud?
I'm not going up that scaffolding. Looks like there's an easier way to get up there. Quiet, Nimdut.
What do you want? Damn. The dream is over then. If we can't hold our banners, we've no hope of surviving the tasks. At least not like this. Still, if you got those, and we still have kith to tell the tale, then maybe you're not all bad. Maybe you can help. Let's talk inside. All right, I'll begin by thanking you. My wardens still live and breathe. I don't take that for granted. Credit's all yours. Now, let's get to business. I'll be blunt. I don't know how my wardens and I can reconcile with Redout or with the Keep. We spilled blood when we tried to leave Envoy, and we've spilled more hoping to hurt them enough to change their minds. Never mind our reasons for marching on the gate. That's not something that's forgiven. No. No, I suppose he wouldn't. I don't see how this resolves well. They'll never let us leave. Even if they forgive us, the evils that drove my wardens to the gates won't go away. I don't see how we're not fucked. There's no food. The land itself is hostile, making life in the tower unbearable. Maybe it'd be easier if we had trade, but the Council refuses that. And even if they allowed it, our existence in the Keep is against our nature as Pargrunen. We're meant to roam. Nandru's oath forbids that, though. We're only born to die here as we watch over the garden. No one escapes. Not anymore, anyway. There were expeditions out, in the past. My father led one before I was born. Died on a hill I'll never see. You mean How did I not? All this time,
You're free to go now, Amalia. Enjoy it.
Yes. Yes, I'll talk to my wardens. We'll ready our departure. Our leave won't be granted immediately, but that is a winning argument.
Happy for you, Amalia. Enjoy the freedom.
I wish I could give you something as thanks. All I had was the armor in that chest over there. But you already opened it, so... Thank you, envoy. I'll take it from here.
A sprout. The hair leaves the burrow. A shift in the earthen plate. Free to wander.
I might have something for you, envoy.
Welcome back to the tower, envoy. I don't know what to tell you except that it's best to keep to the road. Believe me when I say you don't want to know our lands. Danger without any of the excitement. These days we do little but hold the gate, kill vermin, and ship their meat back to the keep. I'm all ears, envoy. Her father... That would get her out. Forgive me, envoy. No one's left the keep in... I don't know how long, and... I never thought of this. No one's left in centuries. How many have wanted to? How many have died wanting to? Please, I'd like a moment alone now, if that's all right. We'll let them out when they're ready. It's just... a lot to reckon with. It's so strange to even think about this as a possible option.
Envoy? Been thinking about Amalia a bit. You got yourself involved and found a way for her to leave the Tusks. I'm not sure you know what a huge favor that was. Solas's traditions exist for a reason. It's just not always a good reason. I don't know... What? No, gods. You've been talking to Yatsley again, haven't you? I swear, everyone's so worried about people finding romance. Maybe it's not everyone's top priority, you know? Thank you. Envoy, what do you need? You too.
Of it. And you say you are children of this land.
Okay, but we're just here for water.
Stay back, creatures of flesh and fur and bone. You follow one another into the snare.
Abaddon's hammer. Did Gabral send you? You've got to get us out of here. It's the Vota. Gabral sent us to repair the old aqueducts, but there's a bigger problem. Something's fouled the source. Marius, is that you? Can you talk some sense into anyone here?
Sorry, Raluca. You knew the answer to that before you asked.
Do you understand so little? You awoke an ancient presence with your digging and delving. It waits in the ruins, among the bones of the dead. The land fights back against it, curdling the water. This land is connected. Veins and roots all intertwined. The land feels, it remembers. Like a tree choked with vines, it seeps poison to defend itself from the aggressor. The interloper.
We feel a presence. It rises like bile in our throat. We fear it.
But burrowing worms clog the ears of these fools. I warn them, and they hear nothing. What is this madness? You bear the mark of this land in the ridges of your flesh and the rings of your soul. Surely you must know better. Very well. Your insight would be helpful. Still that foul presence and let the waters flow sweet and clear once more. Clear the old one's water roads to slake this parched land. Do this, and I shall release these vermin to scurry back to their nest.
The water is filthy. You'll catch your death.
Stay away from the water, envoy. Unless you want to die in it.
Let's go.
You asked for it.
Unseat!
We have been here before. Do you feel the old roots twisting in the loam? The trees shake with the passing of beasts. their prey skitters beneath the leaves. But we took it all away. Now our memory is a wound reopened. You are Maru, a Jabaru Sinakis. You stand on the shoulders of all who spoke for us before. You are young in your role, newly minted from your trials in Thirdborn. You tempered your body and spirit in our image. Tell us, Maru, how did you perform? All of your life had led to this. We noticed your promise, and you rewarded us tenfold. We had chosen many new guardians, but we cherished you first. Now you stood for the garden. Your destiny awaited you. The leader sent you to the temple of Galawain's tusks. An oasis bloomed from the Adra, and our children built a city there. Tell us, Maru, how did you find life in your new home? Meaning, a sapling thriving in its native soil. Why? You were beloved, whole, the steward of a purpose you had not found within yourself. In the third year of your work, the tide turned. The season changed. The city had grown root-bound, too large to sustain itself. Creeks ran dry. The people stirred with unrest. They turned to you. How did you advise them? The sea yielded only salt. The forage could not replace the harvest. Until, one day, we leave. The builders found a clear spring carved into the mountainside. They dreamed of an aqueduct, a river of their own design. Its veins would split the trees, a winding wound across our back. You could speak with us. Why did you not consult us first? They had never shorn so much away. In the path of the aqueduct lived a mighty flower tree, one of the first in the jungle. A font of vitality. Its leaves spread wide, a challenge to the foreman's authority. He raised his axe. You leaped forward. The axe cleaved into your arm. It would survive, but your blood drenched the dirt. Why did you intervene? Compassion greater than our gift. Yet you were weakened. He cut. The ground thundered as it fell. The haze parts. We cry out. Our skin burns. This memory we recall. The earth erupts, a chorus of screams. Ash blots out the sun. A weight relieved, an overgrowth excised. Yet there you stood, a sprout in the dust, a witness to our tragedy. You offered yourself to protect us. We could not punish you. Because we chose you. Tend to the whole. We should like that to be our way. Years passed. the Aikido returned. As they rebuilt their walls, they left us offerings, wary of their ancestors' mistake. We welcomed their bounty, but the scars never healed. We too had learned. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Did that even hurt things? Need a new outfit, away with you!
Sick!
You're not grown that
Sick!
Something lurks here.
This workshop was loved once, but it's ruined now. I wonder why. Stop. That sound. It's drowning my thoughts.
A rat scrabbling in the dust, crawling back to the same ruined trash heap.
No. We know this voice. This presence. Sneering at us through our prison bars.
I culled your rot from this land before. I will do it again. And you carve lands into petty fiefdoms, but we are the gods of all Eora. Indeed. Can you imagine anything more perverse? To blight one's own kingdom in a blind fury?
No! Make her go! Send her away!
How the fruits of its destruction make it squirm and writhe. It knows nothing but chaos. This land needs order, purpose. Free to rend itself to pieces, to lie in fallow ruins, while its neighbors grow bold and covetous. You are an Aedyran, a nation where law and authority brought peace between the warring folk and elves. It is steadfast. Your people understand how to tame what is wild. How to build empire from rubble. Yes, and that should concern you. See the destruction at your feet.
No.
This was no happenstance. The groaning of the earth, or the lapping tide.
Stop it! Stop her! Silence her! She feeds you poisoned fruit!
Do you think this place was always so gray? With its barren slopes and acid sea? Your parasite is to blame. It has destroyed this place before. These hills were once lush, and the people.
She lies. Falsehoods like fangs. She was not there. She did not see.
Why else would the usurper so quickly deny its deeds? Is it a plea of innocence, or admission of its guilt? The question you should ask is what your parasite has to lose. Whose poison flows through this water? Who spoils its own lifeblood?
Creatures did this. They crawled through our bones. They picked at our flesh.
The Magfolk fulfilled a need. What is the purpose of this?
So small, so fragile. We did not mean to. We could not understand.
Envoy, snap out of it. Felt like we lost you there for a moment.
You looked blank, dead in the eyes.
You're talking to Wodoka now? When did that happen? Don't take this the wrong way, but I think it's possible the Oathbinder knows something we mortals don't.
There's nothing else to learn here. Can we go to the garden now, please?
You have restored the waters. I was right to trust you. Truly, the spirit of the land lives in you. A seed carried in the wind.
Carried where? We feel the tranquility of this place, but whose roots drink its waters?
I release these kith to return to their burrows. May they leave this enclave in peace. Clear the tangle of growth choking the Ancient One's waterways, and the kith may gather it freely. So long as they leave this sanctuary free of their influence, so that new life may take root.
You can't be serious. You expect us to walk away from the best source of fresh water in the tusks?
If the godlike clears the old growth from the waterways, then a portion will flow out. You may gather it where the waterway ends, away from here. No. They are an invasive species. Their presence is a disruption. Indeed. The ancients built towers like basalt spires, and forges like the heart of a volcano. An example for others. Once again, you surprise us with truth. A wise insight from one marked by the land. Very well. I will allow their presence here. May the tusks flourish in their shadow.
I can't believe it. You actually got through to that talking tree. Yes, I think I stopped listening to her around the time she put us in that cage. But you're right. We have to put any grudges behind us to keep the peace. All that remains is to clear out the aqueduct. Then we'll at least be able to send the water back while we commence building and repairs. I hate to ask more of you, but if you could do that one last thing, we can handle the rest.
I think we found the source of the blockage. We're going to have to get rid of those vines.
That's fresh water right there, on its way to Solace.
We'll wait here until you've taken care of everything. Gabral would be downright insufferable if I went back to them empty-handed. Thank you. If there's one thing we need to survive out here, it's fresh water. You've given us a fighting chance.
Many animancers believe that nature is there to be measured, controlled, subverted. Well, I've been contemplating that assumption. Quite a bit, in fact. You made peace with the Delimgan in Galawain's tusks. Could that be a sign of things to come? Possibly, if they were to find common ground. I've spent my life trying to dominate nature, to overcome the limitations of our existence for the good of everyone, just like my mother. But what if animancers coexisted with the natural world, supporting instead of exploiting? With a little encouragement, it could be possible. There's plenty of work ahead of us, but I'd say we're off to a good start. Now, let's try and stay on nature's good side. We have a reputation to uphold. What are you so curious about? Not before I've done some reading.
Well, I'd be more curious about those large footprints in among the tracks.
I can bring back someone to help you. Please, if you just...
You'll not leave my side until I am what I was. Do not ask again. Or... Traveler, what business have you here with me?
Looks like the merchant Lorraine mentioned. Suggest caution. She's not here because she wants to be.
Well, what is it? Because they attacked me. Because now, you and I must talk. If you care for her life, we must talk. Because I need someone to listen. To simply listen before they lash out at me with fury and hate.
A creature wounded. It howls and beats its chest against its fate, and still kith hear cries of a monster. We understand.
Will you listen? I am ill. I am dying. But I am not beyond hope. Not if I can get a cure for my molder lung in time. You will. I am glad that... I am glad you will help. I apologize. My breath left me for a moment. What I need is this. Galeen said the caravan carried a book. One with a recipe that should cure my condition. Bring me the cure. When you do, I shall let Galeen go free. I spent much of my strength already. I must rest. But make no mistake, I don't lack the strength to rend you if I must. I ask again, will you help me? Thank you, traveler. The caravan is northeast of here. You may speak to Galeen too if she can be of any use. We will be here waiting.
Please, hurry. Just find whatever he needs and get me out of here. It'd be somewhere among the carts. Yes, somewhere among the carts, if it's still there at all.
mention a red tree. Please? Please don't...
Ah, so you've come back. Have you brought what I require? Yes, I can work with all of this. Thank you, traveler. 1,000 times thank you. And you, dwarf, you may go. I free you of this place.
Thank you. I'm going back to the Warden Tower. Maybe I'll see you there. Thank you so much. I really mean that. Be well now. Both of you.
Thank you, Galeen. It is more, perhaps, than I deserve. I bid you leave me to my rest now, traveler. Allow me to gather my strength again in peace.
Wasn't expecting to help an ogre today.
Hopefully he'll remember how helpful we were next time I see him.
Envoy, over here. As I live and breathe, the faithless envoy. Ludwine finds your loyalty a touch diminished. If you're looking for the Inquisitor, she's hunting a lead to the garden through its twisted silver roots. The tower calls, and it turns, and it calls, but for the roots we go, if not for the roots. The roots say your name, Envoy. They say you told them to do it. I feel I can't think straight. Bodies full of roots, pulling me. You did this, didn't you? The roots try to choke the steel garrote, and we will strangle them in return. Cut them, bleed them.
Oh dear. Be careful. He might be too far gone.
No talk for traitors. Only fire for the roots. Burn them. Burn every one of them. Die as the roots die. Die, traitor! Lay yourself down.
Is someone there?
Someone's eager to meet us. Not even knows them. You are
Unseek!
Oh, you're right.
Unseek!
Envoy, I'm not ready to go to Solace. Maybe there's another way. Maybe we can fashion some kind of flying boat? No, clearly. They probably won't arrest me and lock me away in a crumbling tower they all but abandoned decades ago. I'll be fine. You know me. Taking things too seriously, assuming the worst. I mean, they don't execute deserters anymore. Right. Okay, that helped. Thanks. Glad you were here. There is something that's bothering me. Specifically, if you can spare a moment. Since we entered the Tusks, I've been getting these flashes of memory. Like there are answers in my head I can't get to. They seem to be about a village, somewhere north of Solace. Fear and sorrow, but also answers. Thanks, Envoy. It might be nothing, but it'll be nice having backup whenever I go to find it. Anyway. You too.
You were with the Envoy when they died. Did you notice anything strange?
Strange how? Besides the part where he came back, I mean.
Disembodied voices, otherworldly visions, anything like that.
Nope. Just lots of blood and lots of shouting.
I'm trying to research near-death experiences. And as usual, I have to do everything myself.
I'm sorry, what madness are we planning now?
Don't worry. Hypothetically, anything I do will be in a lab environment with plenty of supervision.
If you need subjects, I'm always willing to offer someone else's help, sweetie.
Just remember to make good with your gods before you do.
Good thinking. I wouldn't want to meet the gods unprepared.
I can't. I don't want to be here. I feel like I can't feel my fingers.
We're here for you, darling. And if anyone is mean to you, I'll set them aflame.
Fine. Let's go. Let's go. I feel like I can't swallow. Is that weird?
Looks like this place hasn't seen any residents.
Yeah.
Bloodless one. Curious.
What is that? Let me see. I remember this. I think this belonged to... Everything Yonku said was true. All of it. These bones are hers. My mother. I can't. Difficult. This is blessed impossible.
The bones here. They're too new to be godless. Oh, dearie, I'm so sorry.
I don't think I can handle this right now. I need to go back.
Take your time, dearie. We're with you.
I know. Fui tu meio. Let's just keep looking around.
Put them down, please. Please. He speaks of song. I hear only screams, circles and death. A chorus of screams. Where is Marius now? Born here, die here. Lost and found. Marius would laugh. I'm sorry, Marius. I was lost. No. Don't fool me. Don't lie. That can't be Marius. It can't.
Marius, do you know the poor man?
Iancu. Viate. Is that you? What happened? How could this...
Scourge. Like mass graves. I can't... I search for meaning, but find only words.
This is... is... Iancu. My best friend since... as far as I can remember. When did this... I should have never left you, Viate. I couldn't have known.
Patrol. Yes, on patrol. When the dream touched me, I was away and alone. Yes? Not your fault. Not yours. My days are short. In time, I will lose myself. I hope to be far from anyone I could hurt before that happens.
I wish more could be done. You deserve better, dearie.
It's not fair. I shouldn't have left. Now... Gods.
We met here, Marius and me. We played here. I was... older, but still a child.
That doesn't... I barely remember this place.
Your forgetting is for the best, Viate. I suffered remembering the whole time.
I have lots of memories I'd love to forget. If that sort of thing is on the table.
Families followed Razvan, trusted his words. He would lead them to a better life. Trusted Razvan to make them something more.
Wait. No, I remember something. Chanting? I was so scared. Stop it. I'm all right.
Razvan circled the parents around, said he would help their voices reach the stars. They took bowls full of... night. No. Death. He said to drink it while Razvan said the words.
I don't want to know what you're about to say.
Yes. Yes. Gods, am I speaking clear? At long last. I saw all the parents fall over. I knew he would come for me. I ran. I saw young Marius, too small to understand. Razvan called out for us, his voice raised to the sky.
That's when you took me to Solace. You saved my life.
A new home, yes, I brought you there and they gathered you.
I always thought you were a fool when we were younger. So impulsive. Now I know. You thought you'd already cheated death.
The parents in Solace said it was better to forget. Made me swear not to tell. You were happy. Never wanted to upset you. At first, yes. Later, it would have been harder not to forget.
It makes sense. No wonder it felt like everyone knew something I didn't, because they did.
But I can't focus. Can't remember. Razvan is near. making everything harder.
Gods, he might still be alive. That's it. We have to leave. If he's out there, we have to run.
I'm glad you found friends, Viate. They will take over when I'm gone. Found the key to Razvan's home. Search there if you want. I will only forget. No. Razvan has gripped my soul my entire life. It will be enough to know he's gone.
I am so sorry this happened to you, Viate. If I could trade places with you.
No. No, Viate. You have saved me many times over. This I wouldn't wish on you ever.
Well, I guess we'll be going now, yeah? We have to keep digging into this particular emotional scar. Right. I just need a minute.
See you soon, Viate.
I knew someone was out there. He killed everyone. He wanted to kill me.
But he didn't. Remember that, Marius. Remember that you're safe.
Years of worrying myself sick. He's out there, envoy. This Korba is still out there. Yeah. I think I know the contact Razvan used to seal the door. It's a poem my mother told me when I was a child. She said those words would always open doors. I never knew what she meant. If we're gonna go after Razvan, we better get to it. Before I pass out where I stand.
Not gonna cut it! Unseek! That it?
That must be the door. Ah, gods, here we go. All right, what was it? Something. Voices, something in the sky. Gods, I can't think straight. Right. I know it. I think I do. I hope so.
big mistake!
Sing free, our voices lifted high. Our spirits laughing in the sky. Hope that did something. That was it. It worked. Someone's living here. I'm sure of it. Well, maybe it's not him. Right. With my luck, it's definitely him. Don't know if I'd rather see Razvan alive or dead. If he's dead, he can't hurt anyone else. I think I sprained my shoulder.
Knives and shadows!
Purge the place!
words all the time. Please just let me work. Let me work.
Does he even know we're here? We could just leave.
New voices. Flesh or spirit, I should ask. The others say you're flesh, but the others are known to lie. Dream thrall. What a wonderful word for those souls you slaughtered to get here. They speak with more clarity now. I have long heard the voices of ascended beings. Beings beyond pain or hunger or death.
Oh. If he's a watcher, that would explain much. Not everything, but much.
I sought to raise the voices of my flock, to raise them, to become as the voices that sang to me were. The chorus of voices that surrounded me told me lies among their truths. On that day, I sought song but only heard screams.
Duke de Dragu, Korba, you killed everyone!
I know this voice. Older now, perhaps. One of the missing ones. You have your father's tone, your mother's diction. My people were to become ascended beings, like those who spoke to me before. Voices ephemeral, wise, and never afraid. Instead, their voices became screams. From the next life, they curse me. Call me killer. Call me death.
Oh no. Was there not an animancer amongst his victims to tell him that he's a watcher?
I don't care. This Korba killed my family.
But I have since found a new choir, full of life, and set loose from the shackles of will and doubt. Dream thralls? No. They are more connected to the land than any of us. The island holds and caresses them as it will us all. Perhaps one day you will join my choir as well, my little lost one. I will lead you to sing for the gods themselves.
I have run from you my whole life. And you're just a madman in a cave, talking to dream thralls.
You ran because you were afraid. Now you come back to me. My lost lamb. My tiny little bell.
You murdered a village to satisfy your sick vision of ascension. But really, you're just a lost soul down here grasping for meaning. I don't remember my parents. They obviously trusted you. But they didn't know you, did they? Not really.
They were shining souls. Their voices passionate. Their words sharp like the crack of a whip.
I see no reason to give this man a quick death. Let him rot down here, for all I care.
You
Razvan is dead. It feels hollow somehow, but I can't explain how. I'm sure I will. It just takes time. I spent my whole life afraid of something I couldn't remember. And now I've found that thing and overcome it. I need to think about all this. Maybe we should check on Iancu, see how he's feeling.
We spoke before, yes? Marius? We spoke before. I trust you ended him? One way or another?
It's over, Viate. You can rest now. I promise.
Right, Viate. And so can you. Remember that. I will likely find it first. Marius has never sought peace.
Quiet, you Nimdude. I know how to seek peace if I want it.
Right. Clearly. I leave you now, full of peace.
Will you be all right, Viate? What can I do to help?
Nothing more you have to do, Viate. Just keep living and try to laugh once in a while.
Right. I will miss you, Viate. I love you.
I feel so light. The circle is broken.
Envoy? I thought I'd feel different after dealing with Razvan. Somehow more at peace. There was this threat I didn't even know I was afraid of, and now it's gone. So why doesn't it all feel better now? The man in that cave was not the horrible thing I imagined all this time. No one has been hunting me. No one was after me. Been dealing with this all my life. Someone starts acting strange, then clearly something terrible's about to happen. My people were in a cult. They believed what Razvan said. They died because he asked them to. But he wasn't behind every corner. He was stuck in a cave, babbling in mushrooms. Not for lack of trying, right? I appreciate what you've done to help me. I won't forget it. Thank you for finding that amulet. It's such a small thing, but it helps. Just holding it brings back memories. Good ones. There was a sense of purpose, I think. They all left Solace for a reason. They trusted Razvan. People began to act strange. My parents weren't around as much. Everyone started paying all their attention to Razvan. We all know what happened next. It was Razvan. He built up their trust and betrayed it all at once. I just wanted to thank you, Envoy. That's all. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading.
Well, seems there is more to our dwarven friend than we thought. Than even he thought. At least we made sure that nothing like that massacre will ever happen again. You're right. I'll pull him aside for a chat later. Either way, at least that part of Marius's life is done and dusted. The next time we find a cult like this, let's stop it before they get to the death part, shall we? Well, that's all I have to say on the matter, I suppose. Unless there's something else you wish to discuss? How can I help, darling? Sweet dreams, Envoy.
After all this time, finally returning home. How you doing, Marius?
I'm holding on. Got pretty intense back there. It does feel good knowing Razvan isn't still out there. Weight off my mind.
Takes a lot of strength to go back to face something like that.
Hey, thanks. Didn't feel like strength at the time.
You faced something horrible and didn't go catatonic. That's strength. No matter what it feels like, dear.
I'm not the only one here who has sad parent stories. Giada's folks turned into plants.
Everyone is haunted by something. It just hurts when that something is family.
Right. I'm fine. Let's just leave it there.